Have you ever been watching a show or scrolling online and you see someone do something so awkward, so out of place, that you have to physically look away? Your shoulders tense up. You might let out a little groan. Your own body recoils in a phantom pain. That feeling, that full body, soul, deep wince, has a name. We call it cringe. But what is it, really? It's far more than just secondhand embarrassment. It's a profound neurological and psychological event. A window into the very core of what makes us human. Today, we're going to dissect that feeling. We'll explore the science behind why we cringe, why we can't seem to look away from it, and what this strange, uncomfortable sensation reveals about our deepest need for connection. At its heart, the experience of cringe is a phenomenon called vicarious embarrassment. It's the act of feeling mortified on behalf of someone else. You aren't the one making the mistake, but you feel the sting of it just the same. This isn't a weakness. It's a testament to our capacity for empathy. It's proof that we are fundamentally wired to connect with the emotional states of others, even the most uncomfortable ones. The biological machinery behind this is found in our mirror neuron system. These are a remarkable class of brain cells that are absolutely central to our social lives. They are the basis for how we learn, how we feel, and how we understand one another. Picture this when you see someone pick up a cup of coffee. A specific set of neurons fire in your brain that mirror that action. It's as if you are simulating the action yourself, without moving a muscle. This is how we learn by watching. This system was first discovered in the 1990s by a team of Italian neuroscientists led by Giacomo Rizzolatti. They were studying the brains of macaque monkeys. They noticed that neurons in the monkey's premotor cortex fired not only when a monkey performed an action, but also when it simply watched another monkey or a researcher perform that same action. It was a groundbreaking discovery. The brain wasn't just a passive observer, it was an active simulator. It runs a constant, subconscious virtual reality of the world around it. This is the hardware of empathy. So when we see someone on stage forget the lyrics to a song, or tell a joke that lands with a deafening silence, our mirror neurons get to work. They simulate the emotional state of that person. Our brain doesn't just see their embarrassment. In a very real, neurological sense, it feels their embarrassment. The social pain they are experiencing is momentarily downloaded into our own consciousness. That is the essence of cringe. But why would we have evolved such a system? Why would nature select for a trait that causes us discomfort? The answer, like so many things, lies in survival. But not the survival of the fittest, necessarily. The survival of the social. For our ancient ancestors, living in small, tightly knit groups, social cohesion wasn't a luxury. It was the key to staying alive. Being accepted by the group meant access to food, protection, and mates. To be ostracized, to be cast out for breaking social rules, was often a death sentence. Understanding and adhering to the group's unwritten rules was paramount. Cringe, in this context, is a powerful and efficient learning tool. It allows us to learn the social rulebook without having to make the mistakes ourselves. When we see someone commit a faux pas and we feel that vicarious sting, our brain makes a note, don't do that. It's a low-risk, high-reward educational system. We learn the boundaries of acceptable behavior, reinforcing the social fabric that keeps the group stable and safe. It's a kind of social immune response. The French sociologist Émile Durkheim spoke of a collective conscience, the shared beliefs, morals, and attitudes that operate as a unifying force within society. Cringe is the jolt we feel when someone steps outside that collective conscience. It's a reminder of the invisible lines we all agree not to cross. This brings us to the central paradox of cringe. If it's so uncomfortable, why are we so drawn to it? Why do we sometimes find ourselves unable to look away from the social train wreck? Part of the answer lies in our brain's powerful novelty bias. Our minds are fundamentally wired to pay attention to the new, the unusual, the unexpected. It's an ancient survival mechanism that kept us alert to potential threats or opportunities. A major social blunder is, by its very definition, unexpected. It breaks the predictable script of normal human interaction. This violation of expectation is like a bright, flashing light for our attention systems. Our brain flags it as something that requires processing. But there's a deeper cognitive process at play as well. As we watch the awkward moment unfold, we are subconsciously engaging in social comparison. We are calibrating our own social compass. By witnessing the mistake, we reinforce our own understanding of the correct social move. It's like watching someone make a bad move in chess. You wince, but you also think, ugh, I see, I won't make that mistake. It solidifies our own sense of social competence. This is subtly different from a related German concept you might have heard of Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is the pleasure derived from another person's misfortune. It's a feeling of detached amusement, often at a rival's expense. Cringe is not pleasure. Cringe is empathetic pain. With Schadenfreude, you feel good because they feel bad. With cringe, you feel bad because they feel bad. It's a crucial distinction that separates malice from empathy. Of course, not all cringe is created equal. There's a whole spectrum of awkwardness. There's the gentle cringe of a slightly misdemeanor high five, a moment of shared, minor awkwardness that can even be endearing. Then there's the more intense cringe of a public speech filled with painful silences, or a proposal at a sports game that ends in a very public rejection. These moments trigger much stronger reactions because the social stakes are higher. These events tap into some of our most powerful self-conscious emotions. Embarrassment and its deeper, darker cousin, shame. Embarrassment is oft fleeting, the feeling of being caught in a clumsy or foolish act. We can usually laugh it off later. Shame, however, is far more corrosive. Researcher and author Brené Brown has done incredible work differentiating these emotions. She explains that guilt is I did something bad. Shame is I am bad. Cringe is often a fear of shame by proxy. We feel the hot flush of potential shame for the other person. We worry that they will internalize this single mistake as a fundamental flaw in who they are. It's a fear of being seen as unworthy of belonging. This is why empathy is so central to the experience. As Brené Brown says, if we can share our story with someone who responds with empathy and understanding, shame can't survive. Our cringe is, in a strange way, the first step of that empathetic response. And in our modern world, the landscape of cringe has been terraformed by the internet. Social media has created a permanent, searchable, and shareable archive of awkwardness. A cringe-worthy moment is no longer a fleeting event witnessed by a few people. It can be recorded, uploaded, and go viral, seen by millions around the globe. The cringe compilation is a genre of entertainment unto itself. This amplifies the stakes of any social misstep enormously. We also have to contend with our own past selves. That On This Day feature can bring up a post from 10 years ago. That makes you want to curl up and disappear. The internet never forgets, and our digital ghosts are always there to remind us of our past awkwardness. This digital permanence creates a new layer of vicarious embarrassment. We cringe for YouTubers, for TikTokers, for public figures, people we have never met, but for whom we've developed parasocial relationships. Their blunders feel personal, and our cringe is just as real. So we've explored the what, the why, and the how of cringe. We know it's an empathetic simulation run by our mirror neurons. We know it's an evolutionary tool for learning social rules. But what do we do with it? How do we turn this uncomfortable feeling into something useful? The first step is simply recognition. When you feel that familiar wince, take a breath. Instead of just reacting with discomfort, identify the feeling. Say to yourself, this is my brain's empathy circuit firing. This is my connection to another person's experience. This simple act of mindfulness can shift your perspective. It moves you from a place of judgment to a place of compassion. You realize that as bad as you feel for them, the person at the center of the cringe-worthy moment feels infinitely worse. The second step is to turn the lens inward. The reason we cringe so hard at others is because we are terrified of being in their shoes. The antidote to this fear is self-compassion. It's learning to embrace your own inevitable, awkward, cringe-why moments. Think back to a time you said the wrong thing, or tripped in public, or waved at someone who wasn't waving at you. We've all been there. These moments don't define us. Learning to laugh at your own blunders is a superpower. It builds resilience and makes you more forgiving of others. The great Irish writer Oscar Wilde once wrote, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." It's a simple phrase, but it holds a profound truth. The act of being yourself is an act of courage. It means showing up, with all your imperfections and potential for awkwardness, and risking failure for the chance at genuine connection. Every person you've ever cringed for was, in that moment, trying. They weren't trying to be funny, or smart, or romantic, or talented. They were being vulnerable. And as Brené Brown reminds us, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. It's the birthplace of joy, creativity, and love. So the next time you feel that cringe, let it be a reminder. A reminder of our shared, fragile, and beautifully awkward humanity. Let it be a lesson not in what not to do, but in the courage it takes to do anything at all. And let it be an invitation to offer the one thing the person needs most in that moment: grace.